Hey everyone, this is Jack. This is going to be a quick trade review for Monday, July 27th, 2026. Trading micro ES contracts, and just wanted to do a quick trade review, kind of walk through bar by bar what I saw going on during the day and the trades that I took. I don't know if I've said it in the other video, but I'm trying to get back in the swing of like consistently posting stuff, and I want to do more trade reviews because I've gone through a whole level 1, level 2, level 3 research process, and I've put together a trading system that I really enjoy and makes a lot of sense and feels pretty complete to me. And I've been using that for the last 3 trading days, and it's been going really, really well. So hopefully this is a sign of consistency, and I want to keep that rolling. So I'd like to document that and go over my trades. So here we are with first bar of the day. You know what, let me fix this. Let me go ahead and increase this a little bit. So we have a big gap up on the daily chart. We've been in a trading range going largely sideways. Sorry, let me show you that. You've seen the daily chart, I'm sure, but we're primarily sideways. We have a triangle. We're getting a bear breakout, but it's weak. We have a couple of dojis for the last couple of trading days. We have a big gap up today. We're below the moving average. It's very likely we'll find buyers below these lows. So if we do sell off, probably buyers below these lows. But probably sellers above these highs as well, because this is a pretty good move down. It's leg 1, pullback leg 2. Might get a third leg down. We're pulling back above the high of these 2 trading range bars, so it's very likely that we'll try to sell off today. So coming into the day, that was kind of what I was thinking about. So when I saw the first bar of the day and the follow through, I thought that it was no surprise that we would get some sort of a trend down. And to me, I'm thinking that with bar 3, we're probably going to get a pullback and a second leg down. This could be the start of a bear trend day, or it could be the start of a trending trading range bear trend day. But I know 3 is a large bar, so it's likely to pull back, and it could be, a double bottom with 1. So we may find more buyers at and below 3, but likely always in short, and we'll probably get another push down. 4, a doji. Very likely sellers at and above for a second leg down. And then a good bar for the, a good signal bar for the short, reasonable to sell here and above. And then bar 6, pretty strong climactic bar down. I'm going to fix something real quick. I don't want to give away the whole show. I wanted to go real time what I was seeing. So bar 6 could be exhaustion, similar to 3, likely to pull back. Probably we get at least a little bit more down, but probably always in short. Probably we pull back to find sellers soon. We pulled back on 7, but we have a doji, not enough to undo this sell-off. Probably sellers at and above. Same with 8, inside bar. This could be an opening reversal, but unlikely the low of the day. 2 big legs down, a second leg trap, testing around the midpoint of the gap open, but I don't think that's very likely here. I think it's likely that we pull back and find sellers at or above 6. And then bar 7, we sold off. We have a tail below the bar. It's the 3rd push down at least. We might have some sort of expanding triangle energy here. We have a low, a high, a lower low. But I don't think that's likely either. This looks like bear trend behavior to me, but it's climactic. So it could lead to a trading range day. It could lead to a midday reversal, or possibly an opening reversal after a few more bars. But very likely sellers at and above 9, probably sellers above, probably sellers on a pullback. So that was my first trade of the day. Just a small scalp because we ran out of momentum on 9. I got short in a pullback inside of the range of 9, and I took profits below the 9 close, because for me, I didn't have very much actual risk, and if my stop was above 9, then I would have made at least 1 times my risk. I did not have my stop here. I had my stop up here, willing to scale in more, but because I was able to make a quick scalper's profit, I went ahead and took that. I was also feeling pretty nervous about this bear trend because to me, when you have a strong sell-off on the open with a big gap like this, and we're just going down, and it just seems unsustainable, unlikely to continue down. To me, I just don't think it's sustainable. I just said it, but likely to reverse at some point and get a meaningful correction. But I did want to get a trade in, so okay with that. Probably sellers at and above 10. We probably go below 9, but we may find buyers soon. We have 3 pushes down. It's likely a trend. We could easily get a 4th, 5th, and even 6th leg down. We're probably looking to test down to the close of the prior day. We broke below the Globex low, this red line. And it's very likely that we're going to go at least a little bit lower, but I imagine we'll develop a trading range soon. We get bar 11, another strong bar. You can see there's hardly any tail on the top of these big breakout bars, and that's a sign of urgent selling, very strong selling. But again, the bars are so strong and the gap is so big here, I just think it's unsustainable. So immediately, we're likely to go at least a little bit lower. We're probably likely to pull back and go lower. But at some point, I imagine we're going to develop a trading range and go mostly sideways. So I just stayed flat here. Obviously, I could have held, and that would have been very smart and very wise. But I was pretty nervous with the sell-off. I didn't feel comfortable selling. I also know from my research that bear trend days are the least likely type of day structure to have. So for me, for that reason, it's very difficult to sell during a bear trend day. It's also very difficult for me to sell during a bear trend on the open because opening reversals are so common. So I just sat this one out. Here's bar 12, the close of the first hour. It's a very large bar, and it's larger than most of the bars to the left for the past several days. And we're right near the close of yesterday. We're a little bit below it, and we're near the low of the prior day. I imagine we'll probably get to that low, but I imagine we also find buyers soon. We have 2 of the biggest bars in this entire bear trend, so it's very likely to attract profit taking, and I imagine that we'll develop a trading range soon. Small follow-through bar, I imagine buyers not far below, and then 14, bull bar, but weak, probably sellers at and above for a little bit more down, but I imagine a trading range here. And then 15, this is probably 1, 2, 3, leg 5, I don't know. But probably a trading range here. Probably still always in short, even if we do pull back. So I'm interested in selling, but I'd like to sell a pullback. And I know that the pullback could be deep, so I'm willing to scale in. I'll have to use a wide stop. It's very likely that there are sellers above any of these highs. So probably always in short and probably going sideways here. 16, the first strong bull bar of the day. I sold a close of 16, expecting the second or third bar to fail and then retest down here to the low close. I'm using a wide stop, willing to scale in because 16 is strong enough and we've had enough pushes down that it's very likely we'll get a couple of legs sideways to up or possibly a strong leg up. But it's very likely that that will lead to a minor reversal, not a major reversal. And it's very likely that we'll find sellers in this pullback here, so I'm short. We have a follow-through bar. It's smaller than the prior bar, but it's a good entry bar for the bulls who are buying on a stop above 16. So it's very likely that we'll get a pullback and a second leg up, but it's also very likely that this is a counter trend leg in a trading range. So it is not always in long yet, and it's better to be thinking about selling than buying, at least for me in my systematic process. And then we get bar 18. I took the opportunity to sell above 17, thinking that the breakout may fail, but instead it was strong. Now, a couple of thoughts with this rally so far. We have a big, small, big. It's very likely this will get a pullback and a second leg up. And this is a bit of a deeper pullback than what I was hoping for and what I was expecting. Is it always in long? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know because we have an open gap up here. And we still have an open gap here. Now, it's very likely that we'll test up into this gap. But I think that a V bottom here is very unlikely. And I don't think that this micro double bottom is enough to undo all of this selling pressure. So to me, this is okay, but disappointing. So now maybe I'm not holding for a test down to the 15 close. We may still get there, but it might take an hour or two to get there. Now I'm thinking I need to scale in and get out at an earlier price, because it's likely that this is going to get some sort of second leg up. And even if it doesn't, whatever correction we get from 18 down is likely to stair step its way down and not go straight down to my target, which would be ideal and great, but that's unlikely. So I'm still holding short. I'm still willing to scale in more. I'm using a very wide stop because I'm aware that this is a possible opening reversal, and I could be wrong. But to me, I know that inside of these bars is 3 pushes up, and it's very likely that this will correct. Leg 3 is the highest probability counter trend fade that there is, and that is what we have here on the 100 seconds chart. Let me make the bars a little bit bigger so you can see them better. So at the close of bar 18, we have 3 pushes up, 1, 2, 3. And the third leg is subdivided into 2 smaller legs. And to me, we're still always in short. This is a leg 3 move against a trend. It's very likely that this move is going to fail, and we're going to pull back probably at least to the midpoint, maybe all the way down to the low close like I was originally hoping for. So if we do go above 18, I do not expect 18 to go, or 19 to go very far before it fails. So I sell more. Not on 19. We have a small pause bar, a sign of hesitation. But if we go above this bar, I'd like to sell a little bit higher and scale in one more time. So I scale in on 20. We break out above 19. To me, this is a pause, and it's very likely that this is going to get a deep pullback, and we're still always in short. I don't think this is enough to make the market always in long. We don't have a credible major reversal yet. And with bar 20, this is a pretty reasonable disappointment bar for the bulls. I imagine that the bulls will probably sell out of their longs on a retest of the high close or in the sell zone of bar 20. And I imagine bears that are short are going to see this strong rally and start initiating shorts. We also broke out a little bit above the 12 high and we stalled. And that's because there's a lot of limit order shorts waiting to sell there. So this is validating my thesis. You know, it wasn't part of the original plan back here. I was thinking that this bar would fail and we would test back down. But that's okay. We went a little bit higher. So now I've scaled in another time. And now it's just a waiting game. Let's see if we can get some follow through. So for the bulls, we have a pullback. We tested the high close, sold off. That's good for the bears. It looks like the bulls may be exiting their longs. This is a very strong leg 1. But a counter trend leg 1 only has a 60% probability of working out. And to me, the selling pressure is enough so that this may be part of the 40% that fails to get a meaningful second leg, or at least it gets a deep pullback. I also know from my research that a strong counter trend leg 1 typically gets a pullback that's equivalent to 1 times the range of the entire leg. That means all the way down here. But when we get a bear breakout on 22, 21 not being a strong sell signal bar, I take that opportunity to get flat around the original entry price, the 16 close. Because to me, the bulls were able to get 1 times the risk taking a counter trend trade. That shouldn't have happened. If we are in a strong bear trend, that means we're no longer in a strong bear trend. We're probably in a trading range. And we have a deep pullback that's about 50% of the range of this strong leg up. It's very likely the bulls will start to buy around here and we may bounce. And because this trade is disappointing me, I'm going to use this opportunity to get flat. So I take profits on that trade there on 22. And we do have a deep pullback, a big tail below 22. But to me, we're still always in short. Yes, this is a sign of bulls buying, but look at the breakout distance. This is a pretty good breakout for the bears. This is likely part of the pullback. We may pull back more, but there are very likely sellers at and above 22 because we're in at least a trending trading range bear trend day. We're possibly still always in short. And even if we were always in long here, it's probably temporary. It's only by context. It's not by evidence. We do not have enough evidence to support the idea that we're always in long yet. So to me, I'm still willing to sell. and I take the opportunity to sell on bar 23. I sell a pullback into the range of 22, and I take quick profits into the range of the tail of 22. Very small actual risk, so I scalp out. Now we have an inside bar with 23. It's possible that we go lower and we test near the low close like my original thesis for the shorts, but it's also possible that we form a micro double bottom here and we find buyers below 22 and 23. So I do get short on 24. We have a small pullback into the range of the prior bar and then it sells off. I get short there, but it hesitates around these lows, and I'm not too sure if the bulls will be able to get a second leg up from this rally. So I go ahead and scalp out for a small win here, and I just wait for something else to do. I think it's still a reasonable short to take, but because of all this overlap and the strength of this rally, I'm not interested in holding short. I would rather wait and see what happens with the sell-off before doing anything else. So 25, we get the bear breakout, bad signal bar, likely to come back to this price either on a pullback or after we retest the lows here. And then 26, we make a new low of the day. Big tail on the bar, 2 or 3 legs down, very likely a trading range, probably buyers down here, but still probably always in short, so I'm not interested in buying. 27, good signal bar for the long, probably it triggers, but might pull back first. And then 28, possible micro double bottom if we reverse up on 29, but we probably go at least a little bit lower. And then inside bar, disappointing for the bears. I imagine we get a pullback here, and the bulls get a second leg up from 16. Then we have 30, likely going higher, but looks weak. A lot of overlap right here. This looks more like a bear flag than a major reversal, so I'm thinking about selling here. And then we get 31. 31 to me is the first breakout bar of a small tight trading range, and it's very likely to fail. We're also probably still always in short. We got a new low with 26. We're probably in some sort of bear trending trading range day. We may be developing a trading range that will last the rest of the day and will probably go sideways to up, but I think there's enough selling pressure here that it makes sense to look to sell a rally and expect for a test down, at least for a scalp. So I get short right here. It's low probability sell as evidenced by the yellow arrow, but I'm willing to scale in. There's very likely sellers above 25, very likely sellers above 22. So I'm using a wide stop, betting on a trending trading range, and we test back down to here. We get 32, a small follow through bar for the bulls, but I don't know. If I'm a bull, that's not very, that doesn't make me feel very good. And as a bear, this looks like a lot of overlap. And as I imagine we test below 32 at a minimum. And I use the outside down bar on 33 to take profits below 32. Probably we go a little bit lower. It's reasonable to sell here and sell more on a pullback. But we're starting to develop a trading range with buyers below 15. It's very likely there are buyers below these bars. So I'm only willing to scalp here. And we go a little bit lower with 34, but we have a contraction bar. Very likely buyers not far below. And then a pullback. I don't think I did anything else for the rest of the session so far. And I don't think I'll do anything for the rest of the day. I want to keep working on my entries and exits and chart reading and keep assessing my emotions. Like, missing all of this is a bit disappointing, but perfectly reasonable, perfectly fine with me. I just wasn't feeling it, and that's actually really good for me. Typically I FOMO into something and do something dumb, like maybe I'll sell to close of 15, or maybe sell to close of 6 and then get out here scared. So I'm fine, but yeah, overall, not bad trading, not great trading, nothing to write home about, nothing to celebrate. Overall, decent. So yeah, that's all I've done so far today, and that's probably all that I will do. But yeah, all very systematic. Everything I'm doing is based on the research I've done over the last few weeks. So I feel very comfortable doing it, even though my emotions might tell me otherwise. I know that I've done the work and I understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So it makes sense to me, and that's what's most important. So I'm going to keep working on that discipline and emotional awareness and keep getting comfortable doing what I'm doing. What would I be doing here if I were still trading? Well, we're in a trading range. We might be in a broad bull channel, which is a bear flag on the 15-minute chart or the hourly chart. Probably okay to think about selling a pullback. Probably not a good idea to sell the close of 41 unless you use a very wide stop and scale in somewhere up here. 2 legs up. Bulls might get a third leg up. Might have a higher low here, but I'm not sure. Overall, we probably have some sort of bear trending trading range day. We made a lower low here. That makes me think we're going to form a bear channel, go a little bit lower. But you can see the hourly bar here. It's so big, it's got to be a climax. You know, it went sideways here. We have a lot of overlap, trading range price action here. Very likely buyers not far below, but we will probably go at least a little bit lower. But yeah, very likely in a trading range here. Very likely sellers at and above, and very likely buyers down here. So anyway, that's the trade review. That's my thoughts for the day. Again, not great trading, but systematic, and that's a win for me. Last few trading days have been great. So I'm going to keep at it. Appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.